Is, we're both good Christian brothers that take care of people and just feel that honesty is the best policy.
Yep.
And you know,
good
just
fast
treat
hard
people
workers
the way,
too. Huh?
Yeah, fast hard workers, and we just want to treat people the way we want to be treated. And
oh yeah.
I think it's just
honestly,
the way in life. You know, it's,
yeah.
everybody should practice that same philosophy.
Yeah, that's true. Well, that's why I followed you around since what, like maybe '96.
Oh, easy.
You've been at
learned back in the old days. That's a lost art. Not a lot of people around this area know how to do custom-built, hand-built wheels. I've built thousands of wheels. I worked for pro teams. I worked at Redlands Classic, Pomona Valley Stage Race. Now it's called San Dimas Stage Race.
Oh, okay.
And built so many wheels for customers. Back in the day, you couldn't buy a nice wheel off the rack. You had to have a custom build. So you have to ask customer questions like, what do you want? How much do you weigh? What kind of riding are you looking into? And kind of build a wheel around them to suit them so that they don't have a lot of problems, because as we know, some of these production wheels nowadays, you could spend $1,000 and they'll crack tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Pop a spoke, and it's real frustrating for the consumer, especially bigger guys that buy a $1,000 wheel that's like throwing away a big razor. It's very frustrating.
And not to be insulting or anything, but you're a bigger rider and a racer too, so you've been through all that, so you have the experience and knowledge to know what's going to work and what doesn't, right?
Right, and I always said I'm my best customer. Because if the wheels will hold up for me, they're going to hold up for anybody.
I went in and I walked in, I told you the problem, and you looked down at the bike and you spotted the problem. Like about 10 seconds, you looked down and you said, I know what it is. And you I think the problem was that you said they had set it up like a mountain bike, the chain line. Okay. And so you reset it. It took you about a minute or two, and then I never had a problem after that. And after that, I thought, like, you know what, this guy just can look at a bike and know what's going on. So
been doing it for a while.
Oh yeah.
And you know, my goal is to get the bicycle out in correct condition, or the best it's ever been. I've had people more than once have brought their bikes in from other shops and didn't realize they were supposed to work real well.
Oh
with them clanking, and they just assumed that was the way it was because they bought the bike and it was just always that way. And I find a lot of problems in certain different bikes and correct those problems, and when the people pick them up, they come back and go, wow, man, this works better than the day I bought it. And it's used and old now, but it shifts like a dream. I didn't realize my bike would work that well, and that's because of all the years of doing it, you know, and caring.
And one thing that I always tell people is that they're kind of actually, if you're new into bike riding, you're kind of ignorant as to how a bike should run. So that's why I kind of tell people, go to Mark, because it doesn't matter whether you know whether it's running right or not, he's going to set it up right. If you've done that, I don't know how many times for me.
Oh yeah, and different things like that.
So
you know, when somebody's willing to learn and is very mechanically inclined, I'm not going to hold my knowledge. I'm actually going to pass it on to other fellow friends and cyclists, and I think that goes a long way in taking care of people. That's all part of taking care of people. And I really am impressed with the quality that you came. I mean, you listened to me, you did everything to procedure, and your wheels have been flawless, perfect. So you're quite a wheel builder now from the experience of you and me together, you know, molding a better wheel. And I'm impressed on your work that you've done, because you've done it right, and look at, you know, time will tell. Because you know, if it's still going strong and you're pushing, you know, 220 or so, and I'm not sure what it
250, is. 260 now.
Your wheels are holding up, then that's definitely a true test that you did the job right.
And another thing about that too is that, like with me, you know, you lose money on me because I do my own mechanics now, and if I ever really need anything, I come to you. But even knowing that you lose money from people like me, whenever I do need something, I come to you because I know you're going to do it right. So
I don't think of it that way. I don't think of it as losing money, because you've always been there for me and promoted the shop, because I've always been there for you. It goes hand in hand. And maybe you won't purchase something that day, but maybe in the future you will refer somebody. You will. So that's a negative way of looking at it. It's losing money. You always want to look at it as like, hey, I'm doing a favor to a friend, and you've always done favors for me, so it's the least somebody could do.
Well, I didn't mean it negative. I meant like,
I know you did.
You know, because you know it comes around.
I just want to clarify that. I don't think that way.
But that's kind of showing, like when you're talking about the Christian thing about your frame of mind, is that you're kind of more there and willing to help people and pass on the knowledge rather than I can make another 20 cents on this guy if I sell him another spoke or something, you know. So it's not all about that. It's about loving bikes. I tell a lot of people on the forums that if that you're a bike lover, so if somebody came in here with a Huffy, or like the guy did just a few minutes ago with a 1970 something Cannondale, you're gonna say, hey, this is a cool bike, I like it, you know, and you're gonna work on it, do your best to, nothing about this, you know, well, if it's not a...
Just like this old bike right here, took in to put the brakes on. Circa 1980s, you know? Yeah, you betcha.
Yeah, so...
And I know about all these bikes because I worked on this kind of stuff when it was brand new, when it came brand new out of the boxes. So
that many years of experience.
About that old stuff, too. I could look at it and go, oh, well, this went this way, or this went that way, because I have a lot of history and experience.
Right. You don't need that Colnago C50 to come in here and get good service. You don't have to, you know, spend $10,000 on every bike you buy. When you come to Mark, he's going to help you out. So.
But you're going to get a good service with that Colnago C50. Right. You're going to get good service with that Huffy.
Oh, yeah.
And now, or that three-wheeler, or that trike, or you know, or the, you know, whatever. Well, you have a lot of history with tandems, mountain bikes, BMX, road bike, a little bit of everything.
That's good.
When you're doing it for 25 years, you better know something.
Yeah,
get out of the business.
Yeah. So, anyway, it's a good little talk, and none of this was scripted or anything. We just kind of went by my past experience with Mark, and as helpful he's been over, what has it been, like 16 years now?
Easily.
Yeah, easily. And,
easily.
Yep. So, good service and a good guy, and if you ever need, Imaj was pretty impressed. He's one of the forum members that I referred to you. He came in, brought his bike, and he's got a Titanium 7 and Dura-Ace. I think he was 10 speed, and he brought it in, and when he left, he was pretty happy. He called me and said, I went to Mark, and he cleaned up my bike. I haven't seen it like that since I bought it. And
I went the extra mile. Over all the years of me doing this, too, certain frames will come in like titanium and they'll be tarnished, and I go the extra mile and actually throw a little polish on the frame and blow the customer's minds. Pick it up because it looks really nice.
Yep.
You bringing it back to that original luster. So not only are we tuning and lubing cables and making it perfect in that way, but aesthetically we want to make it look good too as well.
Yeah, he was pretty happy about that. He was, and that's going the extra mile with your service. And he was actually, I won't say anything about prices, but he was pretty impressed with the price too.
But that's, we work with the customer, and sometimes we're going to tune up, throw in an extra.
Oh yeah, that's what Imaj said. He came in for a basic tune-up, I think, and he got all...
I did a lot extras. I even put his cable in, where at most shops will charge you an extra 10 to put in a cable.
Right.
I think I put his chain on. I forget what else.
He said you polished his crank.
I think he's... More of the frame.
More of the frame? Okay.
The crank has a clear coat on it, and cleaned it.
Okay.
Everything was pretty dirty.
Yeah. You guys have a pretty big selection of parts, too?
Absolutely, yes we do. We have chains and brake pads and tires and
tools. Yeah, I see it.
And we've been really strong with Continental.
Oh, do you? Oh, good.
4000s, we have Gator skins. We have Ultra Sports.
Okay.
We have been selling so much in the Continental product. I just did a $3,000 order that's due in today.
Oh, wow. That's good.
We'll continue to go strong with Continental. One of the best products out there.
Oh, yeah, that's
There's
pretty
a lot of faulty products out there that are leaving customers stranded on the side of the road. We won't mention any of the manufactured tire brands.
I've been there.
We have Shimano wheels.
Shimano wheels.
And all the way up to Ultegra. We've got full carbon Dura-Ace wheels. We've sold Dura-Ace Gruppos, Campy 10-speed Gruppos. We work on high end. We work on low end. We work on everything. We've got fixie wheels all the way to here. We're still doing our setup. You can pat over here.
Oh, okay.
See, we're still trying to set up another department for our shoes. And our
okay. You have test saddles too, right?
We have the Zeek test ride saddles.
That's good. Got a pretty good selection of...
Yeah, we have some carbon bars and stems, and we have some components, all the pedals you need. And cassettes and chains and brake pads and
stems and
everything. Let me take you to the back.
Okay.
On the bike, it has a little adapter.
Okay.